In the last 2 decades, we've experienced 14 of the hottest 15 years on record, causing fatal droughts and chronic water shortages.
This is rather unusual because under normal circumstances, I would be waist height in water here. This reservoir has completely dried up, and it just goes to show how severe.
We've pumped toxic fumes and pollution into the air and filled our oceans with plastic waste, creating a world that isn't just uninhabitable for humans, but also for all of nature.
Saturday, a gale force north wind will combine with extreme heat, and that's not a good combination in terms of fire potential.
And fire authorities are warning the public to prepare for the worst.
This morning, flames light up the sky in Southern California's Ventura County. A massive wildfire roaring through these foothills, overnight recording wind gusts up to 68 miles per hour.
This is the biggest problem, the wind shifts.
Blasting fiery embers down the street, electrical lines going up in flames, and this home decimated.
It is a colossal rescue effort. Thousands stranded, taken by boat and helicopter.
Water's so high, boats are on top of cars.
Saved using anything that floats. Their faces tell the story of anguish, anxiety, and fear.
But then in April of this year, things started to get even worse. Our climate became out of control, creating weather conditions that had never been witnessed on Earth before. The time had come to flee the Earth.
They're calling it the Horizon Project, and we've been granted exclusive access to show you this sprawling compound as it arises from the soil here in Florida. They've already dubbed this complex Starship City. In a few months, this site will be secured by the military, and the fight to save humankind will begin.
The idea is that you could build very large, self-contained habitats in space, that you could put an ecosystem inside, and that you could have hundreds of thousands, perhaps, people living there in space in a self-sufficient, self-contained spacecraft environment. It's something that is on the scale of what you would need to launch to the stars that a propulsion system like Orion might be able to propel.
They're calling it the Ark. It will be a cylinder, 15 miles long and 2 miles across. It's roughly 4 times the size of Manhattan.
Scientists at Starship City say that the ship may hold up to 250,000 people, but no scientist or government official is answering the next question, and that is, who gets to go?
You're looking at essentially a founding group of people, human beings, on some distant planet. So the first thing you really want to consider is their survivability, which a genetic profile will at least give you a clue to.
Clearly, a key consideration is the biodiversity of the evacuees. We want to have a lot of genetic variability.
Now, humanity's only hope lies with the Horizon Project's Space Ark.
Shuttlecrafts will transport the evacuees to the ship in orbit. We've got our tens of thousands of individuals, and we've got their food and water and air to breathe.
At this point, I think we would definitely want to board our craft. We're going to want to leave the planet.
It'll be an interesting challenge to keep the passengers and crew positive, especially in the early going.
Today, after 6 months of technical and physical fitness training, the civilian men and women who have been chosen to leave the planet are now getting ready to evacuate Earth. Today will be their last chance to say goodbye to their friends and loved ones they'll soon leave behind.
We're so lucky to be one of the few thousand intact families going.
How could we not do it? It's the only choice we have.
Once they pass through those doors, they'll be processed for boarding. Then a final medical examination before making their way onto one of 100 launch shuttles that will take them to the Ark ship.
For the first time, humans will be leaving their home. They'll be traveling for 60, 80, 100 years perhaps, in a large vessel with 250,000 people aboard. They've left behind perhaps family members. They've left behind places they grew up. I think it's very important that we maintain a family structure during this journey, that we allow individuals to form a home, if you will.
The Ark ship's piloting crew has already been on board for weeks awaiting the passengers, who will acclimate 6 to 18 months before the ship departs.
If we pull it off, the Ark ship is going to be a wonder unlike anything humans have ever created. The last wonder we'll ever create on Earth.